student. Today we will study about Wuchereria bancrofti, the Filaria worms under the heading parasitology, and this chapter is for BSc third year student zoology. Wuchereria bancrofti is a Filaria nematode that cause Wucheriasis or filariasis, commonly called elephantiasis, in human beings. It's not elephantitis, it's elephantiasis. The name of this worm is given Wuchereria bancrofti in honor of two scientists, Wucherer and Bancroft, who made a considerable contribution in studying the disease caused by these worms. And look at the systematic position of Wuchereria bancrofti, the classification. Under the classification, phylum, nematodes, class, Phasminda, order, Filaroidea, family, Filariidae, genus, Wuchereria, species, bancrofti. Habit and habitat of Wuchereria bancrofti. Wuchereria bancrofti, Filaria worms, is a dreaded endoparasite of humans. It is a digenetic parasite, completing its life cycle in two hosts. The final host is man harboring the adult worms, while the intermediate host is blood-sucking insect, the female mosquitoes of genus Culex, Aedes, and Anopheles. Adult worms live coiled up in the lymph gland and lymph passages of man, where they often obstruct the flow of lymph. The larvae, that is microfilaria, are found in the peripheral blood. Occasionally, they are also found in chylous urine or in hydrocele fluid. The morphology of Wuchereria bancrofti, you can see in the diagram. Number one, the adult forms. It looks like transparent, translucent, thread-like worms with a smooth cuticle and tapering end, as seen in this picture. These are filiform and cylindrical in shape with both ends tapering. Sexes are separate with distinct sexual dimorphism. Means male and female, both animals are separated. The female is larger, about 70 to 100 by 0.25 mm. Then the male is 25 to 40 into 0.1 mm. The posterior end of the female worm is narrow and pointed, that bears an anus, while that of the male is curved vertically and contain numbers of genital papillae, two copulatory spicules of unequal length. With this special character, we can distinguish male and female Wuchereria worm. Males and female remain coiled together, usually in the abdominal and inguinal, lymphatic, and in the testicular tissues. The head end is slightly enlarged. Mouth aperture is simple, without lips. The pharynx is divisible into an anterior muscular portion and a posterior granular portion, and esophageal bulb is lacking. The intestine is simple. The vulva of the female is located ventrally in the peripharyngeal region and provided with a piriform ejector mechanism. The female worm is viviparous and directly liberates sheathed microfilaria into the lymph. The adult worms live for many years, probably 10 to 15 years or more. Number two is microfilaria. The first stage larvae is called a microfilaria. As you see in the picture, they are colorless, transparent bodies with blunt anterior end and pointed tails. They are very active and can move forward and backward within the sheath, which is much longer than the embryo. They are microscopic and measure about 250 to 300 micron in length and 6 to 10 micron in thickness. Its body is covered with a hyaline sheath followed by cuticula, being lined by flattened subcuticular cells or epidermis and an inner column of cytoplasm containing nuclei. Its cuticle has well-marked striation. Microfilaria's head end has clear space divided of granular known as cephalic space. Important structure from the anterior end downwards are future mouth or oral stylet, nerve ring, oblique area, divide of granules, nephridiophore, rennet cell, dark colored inner mass, and 4 cells of future anus. They do not undergo further development in the human body unless they are taken up by their suitable host, that is, mosquito. Their lifespan in the human body is probably 7 years. The periodicity of microfilaria. The microfilaria circulate in the bloodstream. In India, China, and many other Asian countries, they show nocturnal periodicity in peripheral circulation, being seen in large number in peripheral blood only at night between 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. but they disappear inside during the rest of the day. It is believed that during the daytime they retire inside the deeper blood vessels. This correlates with the night biting habit of the vector Culex mosquito. In the Pacific Island and some part of the Malaysia archipelago, the microfilariae are non-periodic or diurnal subperiodic, such that they occur in peripheral circulation at all times, with a slight peak during the late afternoon or evening. This is related to the day biting habit of the local vector mosquitoes. The third stage of the larvae, it is infective form. The third stage larvae is the infective form of the parasite is found only in mosquito. They are elongated filiform, measure 1.5 mm in length and 18 to 23 micron in diameter. Life cycle of Wuchereria bancrofti. Wuchereria bancrofti is diagenetic, that is, its life history is completed in 2 hosts. Number 1, definitive host, that is man. No animal host or reservoir is known for Wuchereria bancrofti. Number 2 is the intermediate host, that is female mosquitoes belonging to genus Culex, Aedes, and Anopheles. Infective forms, actively motile, third stage, filariform larvae is infective to man. Mode of transmission, human get the infection by the bite of a mosquito carrying a filiform larvae. Now you can see the life cycle of Wuchereria bancrofti. You can see on the left side the mosquito stage, different mosquito stages are there, and the right side is human stage in which development takes place and causes filariasis. Copulation. Copulation takes place when individuals of both sexes are present in the same lymph gland. Larval development in man. How the larva develop in the man. The female worms is viviparous or oviviparous. It releases numerous larvae called microfilariae into the bloodstream. The microfilariae are born in a very immature stage. However, they find their way into the lymph vessel, soon enter into blood vessels and circulate with blood showing active movements. They do not undergo further development until sucked by the intermediate host, that is female mosquito. Microfilariae shows nocturnal and diurnal periodicity in the blood of man. During the daytime, the microfilariae tend to stay in deep blood vessels of man, but at night time they travel near the surface in peripheral or subperipheral superficial blood vessels. This behavior enables them to get ingested by the night biting mosquito, Culex, and Aedes, which serve as an intermediate host. These microfilariae circulate in the blood for 6 months to 2 years and then die if not taken by a mosquito. Development in a mosquito. Microfilariae are sucked from the peripheral blood of man. Microvilli lose their sheath within 2 to 6 hours in the stomach of the mosquito, and they penetrate the stomach wall and within 4 to 17 hours migrates to thoracic muscles or wing musculature, where they undergo metamorphosis and grow. In the next 2 days, they become short and thick like sausage, having short, spiky tails and measures 124 to 250 micron in length and 10 to 70 micron in diameter. Also possess rudimentary digestive tract. These are first stage larvae, and we can say it as L1. Within the next 3 to 7 days, they grow rapidly and molt once or twice to become the second stage larvae, L2, which measure 225 to 330 micron in length and 15 to 30 micron in diameter. Metamorphosis finally completes by 10 to 11 days into third stage Filaria larvae, that is L3, which measures about 1500 to 2000 micron in length and 18 to 23 micron in diameter. The third stage larvae are actively motile and infective. These larvae migrate through the hemocoel to the mosquito's labium. Proosis. Infection of the new human host. When these infected mosquitoes persist into proosis in the worm and moist skin of man, the larvae creep out of labium to human skin. Then it penetrates the skin and finally comes to settle down into lymphatics. In the lymph vessel, they grow and become fully adult and sexually mature within a period of 5 to 18 months. The sexually mature worms start reproduction to repeat life. Disease caused by these parasites, Wuchereria, bancrofti. In the severe infection, due to repeated inoculation, the adult cause blocking of lymphatic system, which results in the enlargement of legs, arms, scrotum and mammary glands, which is known as elephantiasis. It causes filarial fever and headache too. And how to prevent and its control of this parasite. The most effective preventive measure is to avoid the mosquito bite, because mosquito carry this parasite. Mosquito bleeding should also be controlled by all means. No proper drug has been invented to eradicate the filarial worms. A drug called heterazone and cyanine is effective to certain extent. So better to keep mosquito away from our site and keep healthy. Thank you.